Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at the brand new Black Library art book. This video is sponsored by the Game Bunker. More on that later. Alright, so we got a brand new Black Library art book coming out, and these things are extremely popular, so today we're going to be taking a look at exactly what's inside. The best cover art from Black Library, The Art of Warhammer 40,000. The robed acolytes who tend to all matters literary have scoured the shelves for the best cover art they can find, collecting it in Black Library, The Art of Warhammer 40,000, and releasing it in time for this year's Black Library celebration. Alright, so here we see the Black Library, The Art of Warhammer 40,000, and this is going to be coming out in just a couple weeks for the Black Library celebration. It will be going up for pre-order this Saturday at 1 p.m. EST. These have been extremely popular in the past and sold out very quickly, so if you are after this, definitely don't want to mess around and miss out. This hardback A4 coffee table book has over 100 pieces of art taken from the covers and internals of various Black Library books across the years. To whet our appetites, the Warhammer community team have put on their best art critic impressions, nodding and talking about intent and composition and so on, and picked out our favorite pieces. Okay, so definitely an awesome piece of artwork right here. Over the years, the style and look and overall techniques used have changed quite a bit with the Warhammer 40k art. And I do like some of the older styles. It's definitely classic and really portrays that grimdark look. But pieces like this are absolutely stunning. I love the vibrant and bright colors. I love the duality of each of these images. You have multiple awesome focal points that really capture the overall events that are taking place inside of these books or stories. Definitely really cool just overall look. And seeing a lot of iconic characters or certain scenes, new units, or Warhammer 40k hellscapes all portrayed in a single image like this is absolutely awesome. So Luke says, I'm always drawn to the Warhammer art and it reminds me of the vast scale of the Imperium and the setting as a whole. And I think the Dawn of Fire series artwork by Johan Grenier is especially evocative in this regard. Covers for the Iron Kingdom, the Martyr's Tomb, and the Sea of Souls in particular remind me of old movie posters, with snapshots of desperate characters, armies, fleets, and planets all brought together in artwork that captures the scope of the series. So very well put, basically the same thing that I said. Absolutely stunning art, definitely some really nice representation of what's going to be inside the book. The scale is balanced out by the weird and wonderful characters often forgotten about during these epic tales, such as the motley cast of the Void King and the Rites of Passage by Jody Moore and Maria Zolotukina. Rogue traders and navigators don't turn up on tabletops all that often, so it's a good reminder that the heaving carcasses we all know as the Imperium of Man is a Byzantine behemoth whose billions blot out the stars. No matter your color, creed, or class, all are welcome grist for its ever-grinding gears, but that doesn't mean you can't dress incredibly well. So again, definitely some cool pieces of art right here. These ones are a little bit more simple, don't have the same level of detail, but the focal points are clearly the characters and not as much the background or landscape. I've always really enjoyed the actual rogue traders themselves and the navigators, so bringing them into focus is definitely very nice. Seeing some of the more elite dress garb and a different class of heroes is definitely awesome, rather than just your typical boots on the ground armored units or just cheap chaff. So very cool. Alright, and then we got another piece that is much more in the older kind of look and style, much more of the grimdark setting. Here we see a Harlequin right after delivering the infamous Harlequin's kiss. Very, very cool. And again, we've got a bunch of grimdark background colors, kind of washed out overall look, and then the characters in focus with a bunch of brighter colors. A technique that is often implemented in painting as well. So Rob says, okay, I promised myself I wouldn't just choose every piece of Salamander's art by Shel Jolie in this book, and Luke's already covered the picture cinema that is Dawn of Fire covers. So instead, I've picked something that I'd never actually seen before. Discovering that this kooky guy dressing up as a Harlequin in the infamous Inquisitor Shevak, as portrayed by Stefan Kopinski, has made me want to read Atlas Infernal immediately. And I'm sure plenty of the other covers in this book will do the same. So again, very cool, very intriguing piece of art designed to make you want to read the book. Now a quick word from today's sponsor, Game Bunker. Game Bunker carries a full range of Games Workshop products including miniatures, terrain, paint, tools, and more. Game Bunker offers 15% off MSRP for most Games Workshop products with the discount code WHMS. Receive free shipping in the continental United States on orders over $145. Online orders ship out within 24 hours. Game Bunker is a veteran-owned business. Use affiliate link below, enter discount code WHMS to save 15% on most items at checkout. For fast, friendly service with a discount on your favorite tabletop wargaming purchases, visit GameBunker.net and let them know that Warhammer Man sent you. And then moving on from there, we definitely have another awesome piece of artwork, much more of the newer style, portraying Fabius Bile removing the head of a Necron and examining it. Very cool, iconic character, definitely a nice piece of artwork. And the overall vast scope of the topics that the artwork portrays, as well as the different looks and styles, is definitely very appealing. I look at the cover of Clone Lord and think, now this is a guy who loves his job. I think Necrons make great subjects for cover art because of their glowing green aesthetic and an awesome backdrop for colorful characters, and the raw manic Lee on Fabius's face. By Lee Sedawan is a rare contrast to the usual smug smirks of the Chaos Contemporaries. He looks genuinely ecstatic to have found a new Necron head to poke, and I'm happy for him. Alright, and then next we got a couple pieces of artwork portraying the Eldari that are definitely some of my favorites. We've got Yvraine and the Visarch, and then we have Lilith Hesperprex. Absolutely stunning piece of art right here. I love the style here. Again, using like sort of a washed out background and then vibrant colors to draw your attention to the actual characters. Very, very cool, very intriguing, and I think the Drukhari and Eldari or Yunari are always awesome pieces for a book. The backstories, the lore, the characters themselves, definitely very appealing for me. So Joel says, I've been a diehard Eldari fan for more than 2/3 of my life, so I generally read every book that is related to the myriad of pointy-eared factions. The Yunari characters, illustrated by Anna Lakisova for the cover of The Ghost Warrior, remind me of a new dynamic to the Eldari race, one of the hope and determination to make the changes you want to see for their people. For the Darkkin, I think the portrait of Lilith Hesperprex by Jan Dranovic is stunning, as it's rare to see close-up shots in the Warhammer art, and I believe it shows her disdain perfectly in her expression. So I have to agree, and very, very cool. Alright, and then next we have like an Imperial city in the background, and then we see these two characters kind of standing on the head of a Titan. Now you don't know if this is just a statue or an actual Titan, but we have a Vindicator and Calidus assassin in mid-pose. So I do think this is a nice piece of artwork, a little bit more cartoony and maybe like a little bit of different style than I typically like, but overall very cool. A wild card for me is the Assassinorum Kingmaker by Darren Tan. I've always found the lore behind Imperial assassins to be extremely interesting, and I think this artwork gives it the feeling of quite a scene in the Vindicator and Calidus assassin moving elegantly through it, which is how I've always pictured them when reading. So yeah, definitely very cool seeing the two assassins working together, especially with like the new implementation of the Imperial agents and the new Grotmist detachment focusing in on the assassins. Very cool. And then last but not least, we've got Gaunt of Gaunt's Ghost. So again, really nice piece of artwork right here. I like the little bits of fire implemented at the bottom, the sort of like outline of the building in the background, but clearly the focal point of this is Gaunt from Gaunt's Ghost, a legend in the lore and on the tabletop. So very, very cool. Love all the different looks and styles of these pieces of artwork, and definitely looking forward to this art book myself. John says, Colonel Commissar Abraham Gaunt and his Eponymous Ghosts of the Tanith First, and only have come a long way from the founding fields of their lost homeworld across the Sabbat World Crusade, just as the series has itself, growing from a group of short stories in the original Inferno magazine to 15 novels. The series was my first foray in Warhammer fiction many moons ago, and hooked me in its more individual character-based window into the 41st millennia. The War Master sees the series return after a lengthy absence, as Gaunt and the Ghost, having been waylaid to the warp travel shenanigans for a decade, once again head to the crucial battle. And this cover art of Aaron Griffin highlights the character-driven stories of the series. We've not even scratched the surface of what's to offer in Black Library, The Art of Warhammer 40,000, which also features some gorgeous double-page spreads of certain pieces of art and is available to pre-order alongside a whole heap of Black Library books on Saturday. So very, very cool. The art book coming out this Saturday and featuring over 100 different pieces of art. Definitely looking forward to it myself. Let me know if you're excited to pick up the art book or if you have picked up any of the art books in the past. Always like to hear back from you guys in the comments. And as always, special thanks to the Game Bunker for sponsoring the channel. Check out the link in the description to save 15% on most Games Workshop products with code WHMS at checkout. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and I do love the look and style of Warhammer art, old and new. And I'm out of here.